What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Suzanne Vega. And we're moving to another album. I want to give a big thank you to Sophia, who provided both the self-titled album and Solitude Standing, and also Seb, who has provided 99.9 degrees Fahrenheit and a singles compilation. So that's what we have next. I have not forgotten about the, DNA remix of Tom's Diner. We will come back for that. Seb has made it available. I haven't moved it over to my music computer yet, but I will do that soon. But yes, at some point we'll circle back for that, but I was thinking that it'd be nice to go through a new album, in part because we are still working our way toward an album Darren sent, which is to say Flying with Angels, and I think it's much more recently. I forget what year this actually is. Nevertheless, I'm looking forward to that, so we've got plenty of Suzanne to go, and the first track on 99.9 Fahrenheit, which, if you didn't know, is roughly like 38 degrees Celsius, which is very hot, though thankfully not boiling like 100 degrees Celsius, because it regularly goes beyond 99.9 Fahrenheit here in sunny Southern California during the summer months, and in recent years even like in the spring or into autumn. So yes, it's a temperature that is not pleasant to deal with, but is unfortunately rather common where I live. But yes, the first tune, which has a parenthetical subtitle, it's Rock in This Pocket, and then the subtitle is Song of David. So Rock in This Pocket, I'm inclined to say that musically people talk about the rhythmic or melodic pocket, which is a very narrow range in which the rhythm is perfect in time with the percussion or rhythmic signature of the tune, meaning you can sing deliberately out of the pocket. You can bend the rhythm of vocals, say, so that they're not perfectly in time with everything else, but then on a larger scale, it's still rhythmically in conjunction with the music. And then in the melodic pocket is, the exact pitch that is supposed to be sung, or that a note has been written as. So yeah, rock in this pocket, I'm inclined to see it as a musical phrase. Now, obviously, pocket can be something more physical. It can be something like cozy or tight in a conceptual sense. And then rocking, obviously, again, rock is a type of music, but you can also rock in terms of your kinetic movement. So there's many potential meanings there. I don't have any sense of what direction it will head. But then Song of David, David makes me think of biblical David or something, so I don't imagine that will be relevant, but I shouldn't rule it out, so I'll try to catch what I can. Let's give it a listen. This is Suzanne Vega, and the track is Rock in This Pocket, Song of David, from her 1992 99.9 degrees Fahrenheit album.
Excuse me, if I may turn your attention my way. One moment, I won't plead. It isn't much, it's what I need, and it's so small to you. It's so darken my sun, to snap that thin thread I call my horizon, and I'd like to remind you of something small, that the rock in this pocket cause your fall, and it's so small to you, so large to me. It's the last thing I do. I'll make you see, so small to you, and so large to me. It's the last thing I do. I'll make you see. distinguished in the throat, but I'll hit my mark, and you'll know, 'cause I'm really well acquainted with the span of your brow. If you didn't know me then, you know me now. You'll know me now, and it's so small to you, so large to me. It's the last thing I do. I'll make you see, so small to you, so large to me. It's the last thing I do. I'll make you see, make you see, make you see.
I but put that brow before you, read it if you can, is what I say to that. So, okay, first of all, it has a bit of a tribal art pop feel, if that makes sense. There's a sort of a tribal rhythm to it, including that pop, pop, pop rhythm, which it sounded like it was hitting the side of the snare drum. And then while that is happening, there's this wavering, sort of like phasing, fluttering melodic element, which feels almost like other dimensional. Though overall, you know, there's some guitar in there and it has a bit of a like art pop feel. So yeah, somewhere between tribal art pop and esoteric. And her vocals, you know, very much in the kind of middle range I've come to expect from her. She has when she sings in most songs, there's just this soft calm to her vocal delivery, and I feel that here. Even when she's saying something that feels a bit forceful or like she's taking a stand, which is kind of feels like what she's doing here. But yeah, she's talking to someone. Now, again, that could be personification, it could be more abstract, but it really does feel like she's talking to another person, and a guy specifically. And she's saying, like, if it's the last thing she'll do, essentially, it's to get him to see what or in what way she is seeing. And in that regard, she does seem to indicate that, you know, she has a good sense of him and, you know, reading his brow, which that could be about emotion. And if you didn't know that reference I made right when the song ended, that's a Moby Dick reference. But yeah, it feels like it is about, like, getting a read on someone irrespective of or even against or in contradiction to what they may be saying. And I don't know if this is, you know, romantic or on an emotional level in an intimate way, but it definitely feels like she is adamant that she needs to get something across, and whatever else will happen, that is what she's going to do, even if he's resisting or insisting that it's different. So yeah, there's a lot of ambiguity to me for this one on a first listen, but yeah, it feels like she is being direct and, for lack of a better word, forceful in her perspective. And yeah, I enjoy the, again, like, tribal meets art pop feel. I do wonder, as we go forward on this record, what the sonics will be. And to be fair, you know, this isn't terribly outside what I've heard from her before, but yeah, I've heard some different flavors, tunes that are more like, you know, guitar poet, tunes that are more kind of like 80s pop music, but still with a bit of like quirkiness to them. And then this one, you know, it's a cool album starter, and I wonder what else is coming, is I guess the roundabout point I'm trying to make. So once again, thank you to Seb, thank you to Darren, thank you to Sophia, thank you to those who've been following the Suzanne, not Susan as I said, but Suzanne deep dive. Let me know what you think here, and I will see you next time. Peace.